those devil birds.
What's up?
I need to get one of those devil birds.
Oh, you mean
That's what that bird's called, the screaming one. I don't know, it feels like the perfect pet for me.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Dev. I almost called it Dev Quest again. Old habits are hard to break.
Welcome back to Pizza. Shit.
It is this. It is the game development streams. It is whatever it is. And I haven't even started the stream yet, and I already had a notification that I'm not going to read live on the air in Discord. It begins already. Okay, come on. What's gonna break tonight? What's the part of my setup that's going to burst into a million tiny little pieces? Come on, I'm ready for it. I tell you what I hope it's not, though. If I may brag for just a little bit here. All I'm saying is, you guys might not have to deal with my voice being subpar for too much longer because...
No, you're stuck like that.
Look what came in the mail. I finally have my hands on a professional XLR microphone. The only thing left that I could... This is basically one of the biggest business expenses I'm going to make ever because I have been referred to this particular microphone by actual audio experts who have heard my demo reel, and they're like, oh yeah, this will work perfectly for you. Match the timbre and the baritone that you're working with, and it'll help you sound a lot better. So between that and this sound booth I've got around me, we're good to go. Beyond that, it's just all skill. It's all things I've learned from doing audiobooks for, what is it, like 3 years now?
Actually, I think it's only been like 2 at this point.
Okay.
It's like, I think it was like late 2017 when you started.
So what I'm saying is things are moving along at a pretty good click here.
Moving right along.
Footloose and fancy free. Getting there is half the fun, come share it with me. Also, shout-outs to everybody who showed up here early. Pillow Sledder in the chat, and also he mentioned Stormy, so I assume that he's here too, somewhere?
Maybe.
Nah, Stormy usually has an intro. He announces his presence in the chat so that nobody can miss him. Alright, so... big thing we're gonna do tonight. So last week we skipped out on the PizzaDev stream because I was having trouble figuring out an engine to use. I thought for sure it was gonna be Game Maker Studio 2, but then I realized that my free license was up and I wouldn't be able to use it anymore. I had long since worn out that 30-day free trial, which means I might have had to... The ideal plan, the ideal license, was to drop $200 on the license that let me publish both to Windows PCs and one console, which was the Xbox. Also... Oh, I saw a different color username, and I thought it was done randomly for a second.
Who was it?
It was you.
Oh, that's way more disappointing.
Yeah, so, what was I getting at? Basically, I was hopping from engine to engine, considering a whole bunch of different things, and I want to justify my choice here because, as you may have noticed, I've gone with Unity. Here's why. The big ones that were suggested to me were Game Maker Studio 2, the Unity game engine, and Godot engine. Godot was a very interesting choice. Very, very interesting indeed. Godot is basically free forever, but here's the main problem. Godot is open source, which means it absolutely impossible forever for games made in Godot engine to ever be put on consoles of any kind. Simply because they... what am I getting at? Because that proprietary code that lets the games work on consoles is heavily guarded behind copyrights and documents and other kinds of things like that. They will never release that openly to the public, so it cannot be implemented into the software at all. Besides, the team behind Godot is not a legal business to begin with. It's crowdfunded, it's supported like that, so even if they wanted to get the proper channels and licenses in order to be able to do it, they can't legally apply for it in the first place. So that's what was going on with that. I decided on Unity, even though it's not the greatest thing in the world for 2D games, but here's what I figure. If you can build something as amazing as Ori and the Blind Forest in Unity, I think I'll be able to manage to build an RPG. Hopefully. The whole point of this series is that I'm figuring things out and trying to understand what we're doing, so let's see what happens. Anyways, that's all of the preamble out of the way. I'm going to start up with the 2D platformer demo here, which, while not entirely an RPG, at least this tutorial will give me some experience in the engine and give me an idea what I'm dealing with, right? So we're going to call this Testorial. Or does that sound weird?
That makes sense.
No one knows what's going on. Oh! Hey! Thanks for the resub, Pillow Sledder. Thank you for that, man. It should be showing up in my... No, last notification it's showing me is that Noel hosts me with one viewer, but... Yep, it says it right here. My counter did increment, so Twitch knows that it happened. They just didn't give you the notification for whatever reason. Sorry, man.
That is very disappointing.
Almost there. When Unity is finished downloading, you will be one step closer to building your first game. You will know it's time when the Launch Unity button appears, which it has for a while now because I tried to get this all set up before the stream started. Click it and then Unity will import some files. Please be patient as this can take some time. It is all part of the magic of making games. I think that's a perfect prompt because, Coops, you and I both have stories we wanted to tell on the show tonight.
Yeah, I have something off topic from that though.
Okay.
Because I'm reading the back of my monster can here. This sounds like if you read this and replace a few of the words in it, it sounds like they're describing a dildo.
How so?
All right. Just feel the power as you crank the cap off the meanest energy drink on the planet, Monster Energy. Our jumbo can has a big mouth.
Uh-oh. I think you got swallowed by the void. Coops, hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good.
All right, where'd I cut out?
A big-ass can.
Oh, our jumbo can has a big mouth opening for a smooth pour and a cool resealable cap so you can save some for later. Hook up with our heavy...
Uh-oh. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Discord is having problems. Holy crap. It's on my end. For some reason, it's probably because I'm loading things in Unity. Computer might be having a couple little issues. Because of the amount of data going through my machine.
Also, be glad that I didn't send you porn recently.
Yeah. Dude, I do so many things to try and prevent something like that from happening. Like, I even go into the quick access folder in my computer because that's what it defaults whenever I try to open up a folder from the toolbar down here. And if one of my recent files just happens to be something I don't want people to see, it's like I even had to mute the Nutaku Games official Twitter account, who follows me because of that tournament I was in that got me banned the first time. Wasn't their fault, it's just they post really raunchy memes sometimes, and what if I have to navigate to Twitter for whatever reason? Like, I thought of that. I'm not getting banned again. That is not a thing that's happening. I am taking every possible precaution.
Luckily, the last few things I sent you were just birds.
Yep.
So.
So Monster Energy drink is... The description of these things is entirely what she said.
Exactly. It reads like porn.
Somebody's trying to get your attention.
Yeah. Someone on messengers, messaging me. But yeah, between that, so you wanted to tell your story first?
I mean, I can if you want. Mine's not that exciting, so maybe I should go first. I don't know what yours is, but I accidentally broke the oven.
Oh!
So basically what happened is like a $3 pizza that I picked up at Giant Eagle. It was one of those where it tells you to cook it directly on the rack, which I found out after the fact that you're not supposed to do that because stuff on the pizza can drip off and then it lands on the heating elements and burns up and turns crisp and everything. They didn't want to start up the oven because they thought it might create a fire. And so Seneca tasks me with cleaning the thing out. So I know you're not supposed to use cleaning chemicals or anything on those, so I got a wet washcloth to try and get all the grime off of this thing, and I barely apply pressure, and it snaps into 3 pieces.
Yo, Cripe City Cripes.
Now, fortunately, she looked online and found out that we might not have to call the maintenance crew to come in and replace the freaking thing.
Just tape it.
We could just, like... no, you can't do that. But, we can buy a replacement heating element for about $25, it turns out. 25 to 35, somewhere in there. So, not only does that mean I will not have to waste a day cleaning the entirety of the downstairs of the apartment so that it doesn't look like 3 people live here, but it also means that this will not cost me nearly as much as I thought it was going to. But, man, did it suck in the moment.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I will be right back.
I don't even know how to describe it. I barely even pushed on it because I noticed there weren't any support beams or anything, so it's just like, okay, let me just gently try to take a test glide here to see how much pressure it takes to and just snapped. I couldn't believe it. Discord had an update. I'm amazed at its ability to update and then continue working without having to reset the whole freaking thing. Then again, you're talking to a guy who keeps his phone open for like a week because every time my phone is really weird. It is extremely specific with this kind of thing, but I have to use this program called Stay Alive. I think I've mentioned it before. Stay Alive is the only reason this thing doesn't turn off after literally 15 seconds or so. It doesn't just go into sleep mode. Considering I use my phone as the way of keeping track of the chat while it's like, I recently downloaded OBS.live, but look at that mess. I can't have that in the corner of the screen. It's useful, but only if I'm playing a computer game of some sort. Like, it's all just right there. You'd think I could have the emulator the legitimate copy of my video game right here while all of the relevant information is over there and there. Wouldn't need my phone, wouldn't need stream elements, anything like that. But yes, welcome. Walkthrough 1, Introduction to Unity. Let's learn, guys. Step by step, let's build something together. Each walkthrough guides you through a different part of Unity. In this walkthrough, you'll use the Unity interface, which we refer to as the editor. We're starting from the very, very beginning here because it has been a long time since I've used this program. Long time. Okay, the highlighted windows are called the Scene View and the Hierarchy window. I think I'm familiar with some of the language at the very least because this is all triggering memories in my mind. I'm sure I've seen tutorials of this before. Somewhere in all of my years at this. Scene allows you to navigate and edit your scene. It will show a 3D or 2D perspective, depending on the type of project that you're working on. No, see, this is the thing that confused me. Everybody basically said the same thing, which is Unity can work with 2D, but it's not the best for it. I'll tell you what, I think I'll deal with another reason I chose Unity over GameMaker Studio 2 is because pretty much every single programmer I talked to said something to the effect of, it would be way more beneficial in the long run to learn how to actually code versus using a visual programming language that comes with its own little quirks and limitations inherently just because of how that's set up. It would offer me more freedom, more customization, more ability to do exactly what I'm trying to do. And you know me, because I love to break the rules and do things that are unconventional that nobody expects, as hard as it might be to figure it out, that was the route that seemed like it would be the best one for me. The hierarchy window contains a list of everything in the current scene that is open in the editor. So we've got things like the player character, we've got the camera would probably be somewhere in here too. Tokens, zones, aliens, which I assume are the enemies. The background. Now, I'm wondering if the background refers to the clouds or the buildings, or maybe both. Or are those, very Paper Mario-looking hills? Okay, let's try the hand tool, which allows you to navigate your view of the scene. Select the hand tool. I wonder if there's a hotkey for this. Now that you have selected the hand tool, place your cursor in the scene view and try to follow the steps to move your view of the scene in several ways. Ah, so see the particular part that I'm looking for here. And I assume without this walkthrough window right here, this scene is way bigger, which it should be because this is some of the most relevant information. It's good to have an actual big workspace to play with. Let's try zooming the scene view. Hold down the Alt/Option key. Pfft, who use a Mac, right? And the right mouse button. Or that's the zoom? Alt-Option key and the right mouse button. Alternatively, okay, that's much better. I can just use the scroll wheel. Okay, okay, I was wondering. Crisis averted. I'm not gonna have to remember that monster of a command. You can frame any game object in the scene view. Select the player option. Ah, so it shows me all of the different... Mouse cursor over the scene view, press F on your keyboard. Over the scene, press F. F. The scene view. Yes, I am here. I'm also clicking on it to make sure that the computer knows it's selected. Press F. F. F in the chat, because apparently I've already run into a problem. Okay, well maybe... No, it doesn't... The problem isn't him being off screen, it just seems to be in general. I'm having issues with this for whatever reason. Alright, help. Is there a way to double check all of my... template walkthroughs, bug, license. Oh, one other thing about the licenses thing that I want to talk about while I have you guys here. One other reason I chose Unity over GameMaker Studio 2, like, even though that $200 license would have been permanent, it would have never expired. The other reason I chose this program is because I wouldn't have to pay anything to use it ever until I surpassed more than $100,000 in yearly income over 12 months. At that point, I would start having to pay for a monthly plan. But even a year's worth of $125 payments out of $100,000 at the very minimum, that's not much. And if I'm being real with you guys, this is my very first game project, so It's probably not going to pull in that kind of money. What I'm looking for right here is a place that'll let me customize all of my hotkeys. Where do I find that? That was the term I was looking for. It's like you're struggling with the words, so your eyes don't know what information they're trying to parse out from the UI in front of you anyway. Component. I guess I've got nothing. I have no idea. I don't know what they want out of me here. I'm literally pressing the key. Also, you may be hearing my keys are a little louder than they normally are. I also got myself a sort of cheap replacement keyboard. It's nice, though. Lights itself up with a little rainbow pattern under all of the keys, and they're lifted really high up so you can clean all the crud out very easily with an air can or something. We're all alien aware up in this stream. Okay, seriously, why isn't this working? Alt F? Nope. That's file. Control F. Maybe this window. That window. F, F, F. F! Am I just not... I want to see the rest of the tutorial, but I can't figure it out. This will bring the player character into the view and frame it. I'm stumped, guys.
Alright, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
How's the stream going so far?
Surprise, surprise, I have already run into a technical issue.
Wow.
For some reason, this computer is not registering that my F key exists. Hang on, let me just double check this. No! Open Docs recognizes it. I don't know why the computer can't.
Oh, I dropped an F in the chat for you.
I appreciate that. I called for it earlier, nobody bit. Then again, there's only 2 people watching right now. As much as it pains me to say it, these streams aren't very popular.
I mean, like, still an interesting stream.
I've got no clue, man. I wish they just let me hit the next window. Like, move on to this and skip this part of the tutorial. I literally cannot progress.
Have you tried turning off, turning it back on?
You know what? Let's just restart the tutorial. Let's try this again from the very beginning. Okay, pan around the scene. Zoom in and out.
Oh, okay. By the way, the story that I was going to tell earlier.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to tell you. We're back at this same spot. It just doesn't work. I'm gonna try pressing other keys and see if that does something. But go ahead with your story. Oh, hi. What's this guy doing down here? Did I just find a secret in the level? Did I just discover that completely by accident? Weird. Goop, something going on with your mic, bud? I think you might be trying to talk, but I can't tell. Is there a command for this? Yes, there is. Okay. So if the actual key doesn't work, we could just use the menu. Alright. We found a way, guys. We got around it. Now let's look at the game view. In the game, wow, you can just play test it right there and then? Next, we will have the project window. Displays all of the assets that are available to use in your project. Assets are the files that make up your project. For example, 3D models, textures, audio files, and more. All of that good stuff. I wonder if it also handles animations down there too, or if that's somewhere else. Assets are the when you import assets into your project, they appear in the project window. On the right, oh, that reminds me, I'm gonna have to find a program to make the music. I'm gonna have to get really familiar with synths very quickly if I'm going to be making an 80s style anime RPG, you know? Get myself very familiar with shows like Slayers, Dirty Pair, that kind of thing. And of course, Sailor Moon. It's been years since I've watched Sailor Moon. Like, I remember it from when I was a kid, but I can't, like, it's not fresh in my mind. I feel like there's so much more I could learn if it was all right there and easily accessible, instead of this rose-tinted look I have back at it. Who knows? Maybe Lita won't be my favorite character anymore on the second look. Right side of the editor is the inspector window. In the inspector, you can view and change the settings or properties for anything you have selected. And man, that is a lot of properties. Holy crap, is that a lot of information. Also, Coops, I keep hearing myself in your microphone every now and then. It doesn't seem to matter what volume I talk at.
Any better?
Oh, there we go. I think so.
Yeah, I forgot when I mute myself. It does that.
Sup, Swirl? Welcome to the chat, man. How are you doing?
But anyway, what was happening earlier was I took my dog into the groomer, and my dad was supposed to be the one paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
He never gave me a check for that, which happens. It sucks, but it happens. So between that and
Who's that Pokemon?
And it was actually $25 more than what he thought it was going to be.
Sorry, you got completely talked over by one of my bit alerts.
It's all right. Where is the ban from Twitch chat? Ban insane. No, I'm kidding.
Thank you for the 151 bits, Swirl. I love that one too so much too. But please continue.
But yeah, as I was taking him in there, like I didn't have the money for it from Dad, so like I only had like $50 in my account.
Oh.
So I rushed and borrowed some money from a friend until Friday. And yeah, and I was getting paranoid. I'm like, they're gonna keep my dog. They're gonna keep my dog up there. I need to take her home. That's my baby.
Dude, like, I've got money.
I know, but like, I'm not gonna.
Well, you've been solid to me for so long. It's like I'm willing to help you with that kind of thing.
Well, it's all good. She's all home. She's home now. So.
Okay, give her a belly rub for me.
Oh yeah, no, like I borrowed like I had like $1 extra on me after I got her paid off. Like, so I stopped by and grabbed her McDonald's cheeseburger.
That's awesome. I was about to say, did you pick her up a biscuit or something?
No. You just get a plain cheeseburger. Don't give them the bread.
These guys, like, my roommates will do the same sort of thing. They'll get McDonald's fries and they'll use Kitty as their personal napkin. And then she'll just lick the salt and the grease off of her. Like, she gets really friendly whenever they come home with the McDonald's. She's learned to associate that with sodium.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because that's not bad for a cat. I need to get a cat now.
I think we had a dog once upon a time. Dad just referred to them as the personal garbage disposal. Like, Cole was that. The black lab that we had with the super short legs. Dad had another nickname for him. He called him Lowrider.
Yeah. No, I understand.
But whenever we had something left over from dinner, or just a plate that had some scraps on it or something that people couldn't eat, he'd give it to the dog. And that food would just disappear. God, I miss having a dog so much, but I can't bring another pet into our current apartment.
Just get a pug.
Ah.
The predator noises.
Well, I'm glad everything worked out in the end, man.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. She's a piece of shit. I love her.
Alright, now it's time to try the platformer scene. You can control the character with arrow keys and use the spacebar to jump. So click the play button in the toolbar at... Ah, I see. Takes a second. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Oh dear.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit because that is incredibly loud.
Oh no.
There we go. Around there. I'm digging the music that they have in this little demo platformer, though. It is a very... Oh, what's that game? Mischief Makers? It feels very much like Mischief Makers.
I need to get a copy of Mischief Makers.
Okay, so... What were those controls again? Arrow keys to move, spacebar to jump?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Uh-oh.
Oh god, oh no, oh gosh, this game's turning out buggier than WWE 2K20.
I can't move. I think
Oh,
the,
yes,
I think the tutorial's just not letting me.
Gosh, I am so glad I didn't buy it this year. By the way.
Oh yeah, can we talk about that for a second?
Like, I have like quite a few minutes of material on this, so it's gonna be more than a second. But my favorite is Kayfabe News. Put out the hottest tea I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And it just says glitchy WWE 2K20 agitates fans even more than regular WWE programming. Like, get him.
So how far have you gotten into this PizzaDev project? We have moved on to the engine, basically. I'm trying to learn my way through Unity right now. I'm doing this tutorial to get myself familiar with the engine and see if I like it, because the next step is building a functional prototype of the game. It doesn't have to look good. And I'm gonna have a little message in the corner of the screen that says pre-alpha placeholder graphics. Just to tell anybody coming in being like, nah, this is literally just so we have a working engine. It's not even close to looking like a decent game, but I tell you what, component properties in Unity make a game object and your game actually become or do something. A property can be the speed at which a character moves or how high they can jump. You will change the properties of things a lot as you create in Unity. In the hierarchy window, you have a list of everything in your scene, including a game object called player. Let's select it and adjust the speed of the player. Okay. Max, oh, really? It just has that built in? In the inspector window on the right, you can see the player controller script component. Oh, I see. This controls the speed of the player. Edit the max speed property. I'm gonna be boring and say we're gonna change it from 3 to 400. Now let's enter play mode and see if it actually works now. No, I still can't move. Why? Why does Unity just eat my inputs? I don't understand. Spacebar doesn't work, the arrow keys don't work, WASD doesn't work. Do I need numlock in? maybe?
Okay, so you do you say WASD. Okay.
Have you heard other people pronounce it like Wazid or something?
Yeah, I've heard WASD,
Hmm.
which I'm like, WASD makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
WASD. WASD.
I'm having trouble, man. Unity might not be the best choice after all because it literally does not function. Like, I'm trying to use the F key to center the camera. I'm trying to just move the freaking character around and nothing works. Pillow, you sound like you're speaking from experience. I think it was, I was living with somebody who did IT for a living there for a while, Tuna Can. I wanted to pick up Tuna Can a book for his birthday one year. It was a little fake novel that he could just keep on his shelf in his office. And it was just called The Programmer's Answer to Everything. And you flip open the book, on the first page, it just has 2 words. It depends. Oh, man, I went through all the trouble to download Unity and everything, but it's just not working. I thought I had this figured out, but how was I supposed to guess that the program literally would not register my keys?
PizzaDev quest for next week.
I mean, I don't know what else to do tonight. Like, that's gonna be a problem eventually. It's
Yeah,
like, I don't even have Godot Engine downloaded.
Well, like, I think it's just we need to, like, it just needs to take some time to figure out what exactly the fuck is going wrong here.
Yeah. Now, here's the question. Should I do that off camera or on? Because troubleshooting is a mostly boring process.
I say off camera. Just remember, I know how frustrating this is, man. I know your temper with when technology just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, it's one of the things. It is literally one of my 2 pet peeves. The 2 things that get under my skin more than anything else.
Don't tell the internet this.
Well, I mean, it's not anything they can do anything about, because one of them is being cold. Unless the Illuminati actually exists and they are controlling the weather and they specifically hate my guts.
They're gonna ship you just buckets of ice. There should be a note on it that says $20 bill at the bottom of it.
Go to bed, John. Who the fuck are you to tell me to go to bed?
40.
Sup, Bicycle? And the other thing that bugs me is when things don't work the way they're supposed to. So, yeah, if I sit here, eventually, I'm just gonna be a super angry wreck at this program, being like, why aren't you taking my inputs?
Well, like, here's the thing. Like, we can put this on pause, come back to it at a later time. We can harass my girlfriend into helping you. Hi, Icicle. But, what was I saying?
I should have tested this before the stream started. I should know better by now. Never take anything for granted when it comes to these. I just figured it made a better show to show people, hey, this is what it is like from the very, very beginning. To be fair, I actually did get a stream done this week. It was a very short stream, but I managed to be here.
Well, just remember this. At one point, Pixar deleted all of Toy Story 2. So, I mean, it'll be fine.
That is my favorite extra credits quote. When they're giving advice to brand new game developers, and they say, so once you've budgeted out like everybody's salaries, licensing fees, this, that, and the other thing, you're done, right? No. You need to add another extra 50% on top of that, because of course somebody's car is going to break down, and then one of the servers is going to catch fire, and you're going to lose 6 months worth of work because nobody decided to back it up, Ron.
But yeah, like, We will come back bigger, better, harder, faster, stronger. Do it makes us better, faster, harder, stronger.
Robot
That
rock.
what don't kill me, gonna make me strong. I don't remember the Kanye rap for that.
Alright, thank you all for showing up tonight. And you know what? Even though it's a mini stream, I'm still gonna roll a d20 to see if something amazing happens tonight.
I was better. I was about to say you. Fucking
Wait!
better.
I have. Wait. Wait. Push comes to shove. I just realized. I have Google. Unity. Why aren't my keys working?
So are you just Googling stuff live on the air?
Keyboard input not working even with basic keys. This is the other benefit to Unity is it has been used by so many people at this point that no matter what problem you're having, it's probably been asked and answered by somebody out there. So I'm following the tutorial here. The problem is that game does not seem to be picking up my keyboard. No matter what button I push, I can't get it pick up input. Any suggestions? So this tutorial and the other tutorial with which I had the same problem teach you. Problem is defaults.
Nice ad blocker you got going on up there.
Don't worry about it.
What's on that ad blocker?
Don't worry about it.
Yo, Firefox?
Yeah, like it doesn't
Oh.
it doesn't hog your RAM like Chrome does. Like when I swapped over, Firefox is not the same as what it used to be several years ago when I chose Google Chrome, okay? Using it even for like 5 minutes, I felt a physical sense of relief from how much smoother it is. I had an epiphany, a euphoria moment where I was like, oh my god, has anybody else realized this? This is so much better. I should write a book on this. Okay.
You're a wiener.
Teach you to change the speed variable using the inspector. Problem is it defaults to 0, no speed, so no movement. You need to set it to something useful. Your code is good, more than excellent, but I was testing it and I realized two things. Nothing concerning problems in code. The variable speed is originally empty, ensures that you have increased its value in the inspector. Tutorial does not mention that. Oh god, my eyes are glazing over. I'm having that moment where it's just like there are so many technical terms being thrown around that my brain just starts to tune out.
Dude, let's just take this. Let's just take a second here.
Okay.
Let's just we'll do this off camera.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry.
gosh darn it.
I'm sorry. I tried.
That's all we ask.
By the way, I rolled the d20 earlier, and I got a
Yeah.
I got a 16 on it. Pretty good number for a pretty short stream. Still not something amazing though. All right, everybody. I apologize. This is just one of those things. Like there was no way you could predict that Unity literally would not recognize I had a keyboard and that it was useful for things. So, okay. On the other hand, I could just like close the entire tutorial here and just try to run something from scratch. So I'll play around, I'll figure things out, and we'll come back another time. I hate that it's going to be another 7 days before you see me again, but in that time I will thoroughly test the engine I choose and see which one actually functions this time. So, thank you all for coming tonight. It's just one of those things. That's game dev, everybody. And, oh, I just noticed we have 7 people here. We could actually go do a raid. And you know what? I think I'm gonna do that to make up for the fact that we had such a short stream, I'm going to send you to somebody else, even if somebody leaves, so that you'll have something to watch.
Who's live that I don't follow anyone on Twitch. I just realized.
I
The only person I really. Sorry.
I think I have somebody in mind. Now, here's the question. What would you rather have? Would you rather have an extreme Pokemon Emerald randomizer, or somebody just jamming out and playing some tunes?
Go for the tunes, man.
Go for the tunes?
Actually, go for the Pokemon.
Go for the Pokemans. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
instead of like, because like Emerald's a better game than Sword and Shield. So I am salty.
So, we're going to raid somebody we actually haven't paid attention to in quite a while. We're going to go say hi to a guy called Josh Jepson.
Ew.
With the raid message, game dev issues. Remember proper raid etiquette, everybody. Only post the raid message once unless they fight back with emotes, in which case, spam away. If you're subscribed to me, I have a specific raid emote that we use, but if you're not, there's also the missile with the rainbow trail. I always forget how to describe that thing for some reason. My brain just blanks on it. Thank you for coming tonight, and please join us again Saturday night, where I don't know what we're going to be playing. It seems like I couldn't get enough people to do a Jackbox stream, even though I have the new 6th one. I'll talk about that in the Discord if there's anybody who wants to play it. If not, we'll probably go back to Link's Awakening and finish up our run of that. So,
hold on. I got
Yes?
a question for Saturday. Are you opposed to running it late?
no.
Okay, because like I get off at 9:30. That's why I'm saying like you could do it then, but it all comes down to what you want.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to move things around in my schedule a little bit, but that's not impossible. So until then, thank you for coming. Later, everybody.
We on live?